I regret to inform you that this whole thing about reheated rice syndrome being divided along racial, ethnic, and cultural lines is indeed an example of being too woke. White people.
It's called reheated rice syndrome, and it's actually pretty dangerous. Let's talk about it. The danger really isn't in the reheating part, it's in that precarious time between the cooking and the storing that I always love to talk about.
I need all my Asians, Africans, Caribbeans, and Latino people to gather here. They are now telling us that we should not be eating rice that has been left out for more than 2 hours.
No, I have been eating leftover rice my whole life. Y'all not gonna take away the Caribbean people joy, Latin people joy, African people joy, Chinese people's joy.
20-year-old dies of fried rice syndrome after eating leftover pasta. Let's just
I've seen a lot of videos about reheated rice syndrome and how you can get really, really sick from reheating up rice that have been saying that has been in the fridge and you're heating up and eating it, or if you cook a rice and you leave it sitting there past I think 6 hours or something, 2-3 hours, you can be really, really sick, so I'm just going to show you the videos right
Reheated
now.
rice syndrome, and it's actually pretty dangerous. Let's talk about it. The danger really isn't in the reheating part, it's in that precarious time between the cooking and the storing that I always love to talk about. Usually I'll just tell y'all reheat to a serve safe temperature. It's usually 165 for leftovers, and you should be good to go. The problem is in the type of bacteria that grows in leftover rice. It's called bacillus cereus, or B cereus for short, B so cereus. It's actually heat resistant. Essentially no amount of reheating, nuking, microwaving, steaming, whatever is going to save you if that bacteria did happen to grow in your rice. And rice, because it has a high water content, it's really, really prone to growing bacteria. So there's just a really high chance that in the short time between you cooking and storing your food in the refrigerator, that the rice has probably started to grow those spores. And the symptoms of this kind of food poisoning are just really nasty. A lot of people equate it to like botulism symptoms, and hospital workers say it's some of the worst cases of food poisoning they've ever seen. It can lead to death. So basically, if you are not storing your rice within the hour of you cooking it, storing it in the fridge in a totally sealed container, and then only reheating it once the next day, you can only eat it the next day, just throw it away. Just throw away your leftover rice, friends. It's really not worth it. Like, be serious here. It's not worth it.
No, I have been eating leftover rice my whole life. Y'all not gonna take away the Caribbean people joy, Latin people joy, African people joy, Chinese people's joy. I will stand on business and say this is only a disease white people can get. Because there is no way. I've been eating leftover rice my whole life. Y'all try to do the same shit with plátanos last year. Ain't no way. Leave the rice out of this, please. I beg you.
I need all my Asians, Africans, Caribbeans, and Latino people to gather here. They are now telling us that we should not be eating rice that has been left out for more than 2 hours.
Why in the heck?
And that if we do refrigerate rice, that we have to throw the rice away within 24 hours.
I beg your pardon?
This is racism. People say that there is racism built into like medicine, medical studies, like what's good for certain things in your body. Those studies are all done primarily with white people and Europeans. I have been eating rice at every single family gathering, every holiday, every christening, every birthday party that has been left out for hours. I have been eating leftover rice at my family's house since I was born for 4 to 5 days. Everybody I know from the Caribbean, everyone I know from Asia, everyone I know from Africa is eating rice, and nobody has fried rice syndrome. I feel like whatever study you guys are doing, it's for white people. White people got sick, not us.
Rice syndrome has to apply only to white people, because what the fuck you mean you can't leave the rice out for more than 2 hours? Bro, I've eaten rice that was freezing cold 4 hours after it was made, left out at so many family functions. Never once did I ever feel like shit. I mean, white people, stronger immune systems need to be in your future, because if my mother was able to speak English, she'd tell all of you that you were pussies. My grandmother, who grew up in rural Cuba, would call all of you a bunch of pussies. Like, reheated rice syndrome? What do you mean? There are entire cultures that just revolve around rice, and I guarantee you none of them throw away the rice after a day. And secondly, they definitely don't get sick from eating it. I don't know, bro. You white people just need to stop taking L's. I don't know what else to tell you. Like, I really... My senior year of high school, I took culinary, and I had a job at Topgolf as a fucking prep chef, so I knew, like, all the food safety shit, and I would come home, and I'd be like, Ma, that food, you can't just like, no lo puedes dejar afuera. And she'd be like, para de ser tan pendejo. I said, word, roger
Okay,
that.
to everyone else who doesn't eat rice like Asian people do, reheating rice syndrome sounds absolutely crazy, and it makes me think that this is like Western propaganda. Because the way that y'all are demonizing day old rice sounds absolutely crazy to me as an Asian person. Because what do you mean we shouldn't be eating day old rice? You're talking to the white people. You're not talking to us Asian people. If you eat reheated rice, you're gonna die from botulism. Blah blah blah. No, I really think this is just an issue of like people who never eat rice like we do as Asian people. This is more so about how you handle the rice and how you prepare the rice. Because that's how you're gonna die. Is because you are not handling the rice correctly. You're not storing it properly. You're not like, because Asian people eat day old rice after. I have eaten day old rice, maybe 2 day old rice, and we've left it out on the counter, like in room temp, and I have never gotten sick. And that might say a lot, because that might be us Asian people having the stomach of steel, eating day old rice. And let's be real here, like the way that a lot of people on this app had no idea how to wash their rice baffled me. So yeah, I'm not surprised that y'all are saying that you're gonna die from eating day old rice because y'all don't know how to prepare it, how to clean it, how to eat it. Because who you're speaking to about like the dangers of eating reheated rice syndrome or whatever the fuck you want to call that bullshit, that's not towards us. That's towards y'all.
I regret to inform you that this whole thing about reheated rice syndrome being divided along racial, ethnic, and cultural lines is indeed an example of being too woke. White people are not, in fact, the only people that experience food poisoning, and that's what this is, right? It's food poisoning, and that is what I will be referring to this syndrome as from now on, simply because I am woke enough to realize that fried rice syndrome and reheated rice syndrome do probably contain euphemistic and racist undertones to their names. Let's get some key facts straight. This foodborne illness is caused by bacteria that are found quite literally all over the planet. They are found in all 7 continents, and yes, that includes Antarctica. Because this bacteria is so ubiquitous to the planet, you can find it in sources of food other than rice, including pasta, potatoes, and vegetables. There are more sources where you can probably find B. cereus, and those are just some of the most common ones. You cannot, and I know a lot of people are going to hate hearing this, you cannot get rid of this bacteria by washing your rice. Just not going to happen. The bacteria itself and its spores, which are just basically bacteria in hibernation mode, are found in the grains of rice themselves. You cannot get rid of it by washing the rice. Cooking is obviously beneficial, it kills some of the bacteria, but it will do nothing against the spores that are still inside the grains of rice themselves. As I mentioned earlier, the spores are essentially just hibernated bacteria, but they can survive significantly higher temperatures than the regular bacteria can. I'm talking levels of burn your food, basically, in order to sterilize it. So how is it that people are getting sick then? The most likely culprit is the improper storage of food. It is good food safety practice to either refrigerate or freeze your food within a couple hours of making it. Provided that you didn't incinerate your food just to sterilize it, the spores that are there after the cooking process is completed will eventually germinate and produce active bacteria that then produce new colonies at an exponential rate if you don't refrigerate your food and leave it sitting out at room temperature for extended periods of time. If at this point you are tempted to chalk it up to white people needing to develop stronger immune systems by exposing themselves to pathogens, I need you to understand that this is not how you actually develop a stronger immune system. There is little much that you can do beyond a healthy diet, regular exercise, and proper sleep. Moreover, the thing that is actually behind the foodborne illness, the toxin created by some strains of B. cereus, is not a thing that you can become immune to. It is literally, physically impossible for your immune system to recognize it. Please understand that this is not a thing that uniquely affects white people either. Chinese people have died. Like, people all over the world have had outbreaks and have died because of B. cereus, because of improper food storage. If you are still inclined to hand wave this away and chalk it up to, well, I'm fine after eating day-old rice that has been left on the counter, actually, you know what? Go Google survivorship bias. I'm not doing this.
How do you opt out of learning? Like, I've learned enough. I don't want to know anymore. But if I had to learn this, so do you. 20-year-old dies of fried rice syndrome after eating leftover pasta. Let's just unpack that, okay? I saw this on TikTok this morning. I was like, there's no fucking way. That's not real. I had to look it up. Fried rice syndrome is a type of food poisoning caused from B. cereus bacteria. And that B. cereus grows on starchy foods like pasta or rice that have been left out for over 4 hours. Even if you recook the food, you could still have this B. cereus bacteria on the food, as it is very hard to kill with heat. This 20-year-old who passed away, rest in peace, ate pasta that was out for 8 days, which is crazy, but he reheated it, he ate it, and he died 10 hours later. The cause of his death was liver necrosis. He developed organ failure from eating leftover pasta. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and need y'all to refrigerate your food. Please.
You can pass away from eating reheated rice, I guess, but I've never seen or witnessed anyone that has died from eating reheated rice. And I grew up eating rice. I've been eating rice all my life. I grew up not having a microwave. I grew up not even having a refrigerator in my house to even put food in it. So I grew up eating rice that has been sitting for a whole day, and we just put it back on the pot and just heat it up on the fire, and then we eat it. And when I moved to America, I cook rice and I dish it up, I put it in the fridge for sometimes 2-3 days, 4 days, and I'll go pick it up, put it in the microwave and eat it. I have been eating reheated rice my whole freaking life. My siblings have, my friends have, people I know back home. Like, we grew up eating the crap out of rice. Rice was the cheapest thing, and then when you boil rice, you get so much. So I don't know. I guess my immune system, I guess, is used to this reheated rice, because I have been eating it since I was little. So I don't know. I don't care. I'm still gonna reheat my rice and eat it. I'm just not going to stop. But it's up to you to do you. But I'm still gonna eat my rice. Like, what do you mean? Anyways, let me know what you think about this whole reheated rice syndrome subject topic thing that is going around. Let me know what you think, and I'll see you all in my next video. Thank you for watching.